All right. Hello, friends. Hi. Welcome to another pop-up reading sprints. You know how I love to do that and let us have some fun. I got most of my important work done today, so I was like, let's see who's free to do some reading sprints. Oh, her internet keeps going in and out. We're waiting for a couple other friends, but internet is not being good today. Which I understand because before I got my upgrade, that happened to me all the time, and it was frustrating.
Yeah, happens. Definitely happens.
Yeah.
More
But
than we like.
yeah. Well, Amber, if you are able to figure it out, I'll put you in whenever you pop up, but we'll just chat for a little bit anyway. So, Megan, how are you doing?
I'm good. I
Yeah.
am good. However, I am not sure how much longer I will be reading Holiday Hoax by Maggie
Yeah.
Cole.
Don't tell me that. I have to read that one this month. No, I'm just kidding.
I
No,
know. I saw that when we had two in common because I just finished yesterday. I finished How the Hitman Stole Christmas.
yeah. Yep.
Cute, 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 and I've just become addicted to Sam Mariano.
Yeah.
Thanks to you. So
Yep.
actually, thank you. So that's a good thing.
He's great.
But 20 pages in, well, it's an Insta last. 20 pages in, he's
Mm-hmm.
already making himself feel good while thinking about her.
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
pages. And he did that whole lip thing again, like it's like, okay. And that, Insta lust has its place. I know it's really getting ragged on. But novellas, or if it fits the story type,
Right.
then completely understand. But this book
Yeah.
is like just short of 400 pages.
Yeah. Well,
There's
here's the thing too. Like, I mean, we've talked about it. I've talked about it on my channel, talked about it with friends. Like, I know my taste is like changing right now. So it's difficult because, people recommend books to you or you like authors that are one way. And then when you're finding a new groove, like it's completely different. And
yeah,
so there's plenty of books that people have recommended me that like last year I would have loved them. And it would be no big deal. Like hold on. I'm moving this around. I used to love Maggie Cole. I mean, I still love her, the person.
mhm,
I love her. But the last like books of hers I've read, I'm like, yeah, you're still kind of doing the same thing, which of course they would, because that's what makes the money. So, you
yeah,
know, you
yeah.
do what makes you money, and then you don't really decide to change it until you start not making money doing it. So
Mhm.
yeah, I was nervous about that just as is because I've read her most recent mafia ones. I didn't work for me, but I have Holiday Hoax. I got it after Christmas last year as a gift. So I was like, well, we'll try it this year. I don't usually try to read Christmas. I don't usually try to read Christmas books, but this year I'm gonna try to do a few. So let's see. Good afternoon, evening, night. Hi, Ruth. Thanks for jumping on. Shelby, you're working on an advent crochet. Oh, that's awesome. Love it. Hi, Mel. Mel's being all sneaky. Mel was invited to join us, but she has too many gifts around her for people that are on this live show.
Aw.
I'm like, okay, you just do that. You just be sneaky. That's just fine. Oh my word, your video's taking all day. Yeah, girl. That used to be my life. It would take forever to upload one. And I mean, I feel like I have also like using my phone for everything. It does go faster just because my videos aren't like HD super high anyway. And I've never felt they needed to be because I'm talking, I'm just sitting talking about books. I don't try to do anything fancy. So that has worked well for me. But hey, everybody who's joining on here, more of you are popping on. Say hi, tell us what you're reading. We'll share some of that for a little bit. And we'll try by like 3:15 to start the reading sprint, just so y'all know. So anyway, so you're reading Holiday Hoax. Do you have a backup in case you stop? What else are you reading if you don't get that?
I do. A Merry Little Meet Cute.
Nice.
So yes, that is my backup. And I'm giving it, I was going to DNF at 50, but I'm on page 62. I'm going to give it to page 100. But the other thing is he was making fun of her name like immediately.
Yeah.
I just didn't.
Making fun of her name.
Her name, which I'm not going to tell her name because then you'll be like, oh well, I know why he's making fun of it. It's like, oh yeah.
Hi, Stacy.
Hello.
Welcome, friend. Oh, all right. Let's see what else. Ooh, Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. I haven't seen you in a little while here. You're reading The Lovely Return as you haven't had much time to read since I got it. Well, it did just come out yesterday, so it's not like you're too far behind. Or 2 days ago. Came out 2 days ago. It just came out. So reading To Marry a British Lord by Judith O'Brien. Nice. I don't know if I've heard of Judith O'Brien. I don't know. There's so many I haven't heard of. So there we go. Alyssa, Caution to the Wind. All right. Good choice. Good choice. Oh my word. You started by Fate I Conquer. Yes. Oh, Candace. That one was good. I'm so glad you're liking it. That one was good. That series was making me real worried, and I'm still kind of worried about it. I'm worried about the next one. See how crazy Nevio is in the next one, but I'm at this point just a slave to her. I will read the books even if I'm suffering, so it helps when I'm not suffering and they're actually good because I'm going to read them all. I'm going to read them all no matter what, so it's great. Hello. Been a while since you popped up. Monica, it's so nice to see you. You're reading Check and Mate. All right. That one is so cute. I love the cover of that.
Yeah, it's a good cover.
Almost finished Stolen by the Boss by Logan Chance. It's my first book by this author. Okay, cool. I'll keep that one in mind. That looks good. Hi, Lizelle. Welcome. Also reading The Lovely Return. Nice. Currently reading Glow by Raven Kennedy. But today I'm packing because you close on your new house. Oh, that's awesome, Luna. Congratulations. Happy for you. Jenn, hello, my friend. You are reading Tempting Azwed. I am reading Freeing Luca right now in Jenn, so that's exciting. I'm almost done with it. I wasn't going to say that yet, but since you mentioned that series, I feel kind of dumb though because I bought them all in the Audible sale and they're on Anyplay, so not sure why I did that. But they were only $2 a piece, so I'm not going to return them because it's like whatever. I paid $8 for all 4 of them or whatever. But yeah, I'm liking Freeing Luca. These are very like slow burn alien romances, so they've been fun. Reading Mixed Signals by BK Morrison. Getting tired of holiday romances. I haven't even started yet. So some people like started in November, and I'm like, well, I'm the same with everything though. I'm okay with like the tree going up after Thanksgiving, or some of my friends do it after Halloween. Like I'm fine with that. But I don't like hearing Christmas music the day after Halloween because I worked in retail for 5 years and that's what we had to do. If I never hear Last Christmas again, it will be too soon. I believe they play that in hell to torture people. Like Lucifer has a room where he puts you and he plays Last Christmas until you die. Okay? Because when I worked at Maurice's, there was 6 different versions of that song because there was like the Glee version and the Hillary Duff version, and there was a, acapella, like all those things, and they would play them. So in 1 hour, you might hear that song 6 times. So anyway, I'm scarred by holiday music. I really only listen to hymns. Like I can listen to Christian hymns whenever, but I can't listen to holiday music except like the week of. But it's not because it's not wonderful, and I'm not a Scrooge or a Grinch. I'm not trying to ruin other people's. After working in retail, I can't stand it.
It really makes sense.
Right, because the day after Halloween, our Christmas music started, and I was like, yeah. So anyway, that was a sidetrack. Sorry that I went down that track. But because like also people start holiday romances right after Halloween, and I'm like, well, I want to read some, but I'm going to wait till December. But also I sometimes read them in February too. So Ruth is reading Caution to the Wind. Oh, you have it, but you're reluctant to read it because you know you'll love it. Oh, and well, yeah, that's true. You're afraid of the book slump before it's even happened. Okay, that's good. Today you're working on projects, and then you're reading Still Two Moons. Oh, yes, this is the one. Okay, thanks for saying what this is, Mel, because I wanted to look this up, but you didn't tell us what it was the other day. Lynn, hey Lynn, Heavy Hitter by Serena Bowen and Negotiator by Jessica Gazzella. Nice. And Tara's reading Second Dukes of Charm. I have that on my TBR too. And Linda's reading Industry. Oh my gosh, everybody's popping off. Okay, Stacy, you jump in. What are you reading? Because
I am halfway through Brissinger.
Brissinger? Yes, that's right. That's wonderful.
Yeah, my whole belly came in, so I flew through Eldest, and I've been listening to Brissinger all morning.
Yeah, Eldest is pretty crazy.
I did not expect some things to happen in that book, some revelations.
I know, it's crazy. It's a little bit like spoiled now that the 5th book exists. Because, you know, when I was a kid and I read that, I was like, oh my God, what happened to Murtagh? Well, spoiler. It's been 20 years though, but spoiler, Murtagh has a book, so he ain't dead.
I'm okay with that though, because I was like, oh my gosh, is Aragon going to have to kill him? But I'm like, he has his book, so I know he doesn't have to. For both of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's great to not have to keep that a secret when people read it. Cause I'm like, he has a book now. I have not spoiled you by the fact that he lives. You just don't know how it happens or how he ends up with his own dragon. So Amanda, you worked in retail. Yeah. Retail does it to you, man. I've never have to hear, oh, come all you faithful again. I'd be happy. My brother's saying that hymn every day for 3 years. Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, again, I haven't been overdone by the hymns because they didn't sing the hymns at the retail store. Like we would only sing them in church. Worked at Kids Gap. Yeah. Okay. Lots of people empathize with the with that. Zoe's reading Dear Grumpy Boss. Yes. Yeah. You got to get through those. Be ready for You're Intolerable because y'all have to read that. All the fans of Jen's channel need to read that when it comes out. I demand it. No, I'm just kidding. You hate Last Christmas. I know. It's such an annoying song anyway. And then when you hear 6 different versions of it. Yeah. Same with Santa Baby and what's the one? I really can't stay. It's Cold Outside. That one too. There's like 10 versions of that.
Yeah, that has like 50 different versions. It has so many versions.
Rereading Queen of Shadows. Get all the way through for the new release. Nice. Love it. Sorry, Candace. I used to use Kids Pop in my class. I refuse to use Kids Pop. I love it. I love it. Okay. And then myself. Yes, I'm listening to the Freeing Luca. I know I said that, but I only have 30 minutes left, so I'll finish it in this first sprint. Working on my like flower vase, so I'm hoping to finish this today. I'm almost done. I just have to finish these 2 yellow flowers. So hopefully I'll finish that because I'm listening to Freeing Luca, and I might start the next one of that, or else I might go back to the hockey series and read Penalty Box. This is the next one. But we'll see. I'm almost done reading All You Want by Sinlin Yu, which is probably the best Omegaverse that I've read. I don't like Omegaverse, but I'll read it for Dramini. I'll read it. That one's going good. But I have 2 novellas that I was gifted physical copies of these ones, and I want to read them. I want to read this before I read Second Dukes of Charm. I don't know if they're connected or not, but either way, I want to read this. And then, of course, I want to read about Raymond. This one's Raymond. So, because I'll be rereading Forever Your Rogue shortly, so might as well read this one before I do that. So, okay, let's see what else people said here. Amber, still trying, and I'm just going to leave it up there for now, because if you pop in when we're sprinting, then you'll be there. And if not, that's fine. Let's see. Oop, I already shared that. Can't stand I Want a Hippopotamus. I've never heard that. Bloops are dumb. That's funny. And that one's Omegaverse. See, Amber's here. Having issues with the internet. Yeah. She's reading Lose You to Find Me by B. Celeste. Okay. Well, we're here, Amber, if you're able to join. I'm sorry your internet sucks, but we wanted you here with us. If you can, we're here. So let's go ahead and I will share the timer. And just in case someone doesn't know, there's always someone who doesn't know what's going on. What we do for this, oh wait, did it share the screen? Yeah, there we go. I have this timer set. All of us will go on mute and we will read or do your project while this timer is going. And then when the timer's over, there will be these bird sounds that sound. So if you have a cat or a dog around you, be prepared that they might go crazy. And then we'll come back and talk again for a little bit. And we'll see how the day goes. I'm probably going to be here for like 2 or 3, but of course, feel free to stay as long as you can. But I actually try to get some work done while we're doing this. So hold on one second. I'm going to answer Lizelle because she's asking about my favorite book of the month. Lizelle, that's the 3rd book in that series. So Dear Grumpy Boss, which someone just said they're reading, is the first one. And then it's Sincerely Your Inconvenient Wife. And then the 3rd one is P.S. You're Intolerable. So yes, it's the 3rd one. There are audiobooks for the first 2, Lizelle, if you'd like them. So there we go.
Do you read them in order?
No, you don't. You don't. But I mean, it's 2 weeks till it comes out. So some people are like going to read them before.
Right.
Because he's the older brother of the heroine from Dear Grumpy Boss. And he's really sweet in that one. They're Elliot and Elise are their names. So they both call each other Elle. It's really cute. They're adorable. So Dear Grumpy Boss was like, it was good. It had a 3rd act conflict I didn't love. But Sincerely Your Inconvenient Wife I really liked that one. And then the 3rd one was fantastic. Whoa, hello from Nambia. Hi. Thanks for saying hi. Love seeing that. Okay, I'm really done now. Let us get started and we'll be back soon. All right. Hello.
Hello.
I just finished my book. Perfect timing.
Oh, good. How was it?
It was great. I am liking this series a lot. It's really easy to binge it.
Good.
Just adding the books to my Instagram. So, yeah, they go by really quick. I like that. Still waiting for one to be like super, super great,
Uh-huh.
but they're like serviceable. That's the way I say it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like they're enjoyable, and while I'm like, but it's also good because I have other things to do, so I don't get I'm still able to do other stuff. Some books, even the audiobooks, I just like sit there and can't do anything else because I just have to listen because I'm like, what's happening,
Yeah.
Whereas one like this, I can just kind of listen to it and still know what's going on. But yeah, on to the third one. I'm going to continue with this, I think, because I'm enjoying working on my cross stitch. So
I feel like Viraco and Six Sand are probably the most alien of the books so far.
yeah.
But Six Sand's the most recent one. That's book 7. So
Okay. Which one's the guy who looks like a demon?
he doesn't have a book yet.
He doesn't have a book yet. Okay. I didn't think any of them had read.
But he is one that a lot of fans have been asking her to write. And of course,
I mean, there's always one. There's always a series where everybody has the one they're waiting for. And it's
really good fan art on her Patreon, though, for him.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm looking at these. I didn't realize there was 7 out already.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Yeah, they're good though. I mean, who doesn't love the world where the men are just all there to help to make the ladies happy? Like, we all love it. So,
Yeah.
but let's see here. Let's go back and see how everyone's doing. Hi, Megan. Never done one of these. You're going to read before the baby wakes up. Got to do it. You fit it in where you got to do it, girl. Monica is 20% in. It's low angst and helped that your mom made Scottish shortbread. Oh, you helped your mom make Scottish shortbread. Love it. That sounds tasty. Need quick books since I basically only have time to read what I have for my book club. Yeah, there are definitely different phases of life where we can read more than others, Your book is kind of meh, but it's large text, so it's going fast. That works, Amanda. There you go. Melody printed 3 cents of designs, almost done sewing. Oh, you're so much fun working on projects. I love it. Amber, you like choosing Peho, but I didn't like freeing Luca as much. Yeah, they're like tied for me. I liked the beginning setup. I actually kind of wished they were captive for a little longer. I know maybe that's bad, but so I haven't talked about freeing Luca in any of my videos yet because I was finishing it, obviously. But this one, like, we know the women are being taken captive to be used for like breeding. Like this alien race is like running out of females or whatever. The females they do have to like take a lot of turns, but they're also revered. So it's like set in their culture that like the women are revered, but they also have to they can only stay with a man so long. And if they have a kid with them, the kids stay with the men and not with the women. So it's very interesting. So there's this group of like bad aliens that are kidnapping not just humans. Humans is all we've seen so far, but from other planets that have compatible species, they're like kidnapping females to see who else is compatible with them. So the beginning of this one is Luca. He is a scientist and he went undercover as like he's working with the bad guys, but he ended up getting too angry at what they were doing and he blew his cover. So they ended up putting him in captivity, and then one of these humans was his mate. And so they had him drugged up and they were like, you're going to go in there and see if you can get him to like, I can't remember exactly what they were trying to get out of him, but she was forced to go in and like touch him and see what it does to him to be near his mate. So, because they don't have a lot of mates anymore. It doesn't exist anymore. Really. Anyway, so they're captive in the beginning together, but like it doesn't last very long. And I mean, that's fine. I don't want people to be captive, but I think that was more interesting to the story was them being captive together. And then once they're out of it, it's more about the miscommunication of like he thinks she was like assaulting him, and she thinks he was assaulting her. So like both think that they were assaulting the other person. And so it's a lot of miscommunication in it, which is fine. I'm fine with miscommunication in alien romance because you're from different cultures. So, and like literally different planets. So it doesn't bother me. But like, again, the plot, they had a good plot going with them being captive. So I kind of wish they were like working together to get out of captivity, but I'm sure there'll be another one that does that just for how this series is going. I bet I'll get that opportunity again. I haven't looked ahead, but we'll see. Okay. Sorry. Marianne, here we go. Hello. What book are you talking about? I'm sorry, Marianne. I was just talking about Freeing Luca by Victoria Aveline, which is an alien romance. So that's the one I was talking about. Candace, you're absolutely loving By Fate I Conquer. I know. Okay, Greta was great. That one was great. I totally agree. It was very angsty. Cora Riley. I feel like she hasn't done it that good in a while. So I'm hoping she carries it through for By Frenzy I Ruin. We'll see what she does with Nevio. I'm kind of scared because the Nevio we see in By Fate I Conquer, I was like, I know you're trying to make him crazier than his dad, but I don't think you need to. Like, no one needs to be crazier than Ramo. Like, we don't need you to be crazier than Ramo. You can keep it at the same level. I'm so excited for it. I'm just scared. Is that an alien one? Yes, it is alien book. Yes. The first one in the series is the Choosing Theo. Amber was talking about that. Choosing Theo is the first one. They're the very like bright, pretty colors. Those books are. They're in like bright blue and purple and everything. They're really pretty. I did not know The Lovely Return had reincarnation. Yep. She puts it right out there. It's in the trope list of it. I have a partial spoiler review for that in my weekly wrap up going up tomorrow because that was an interesting one. Both of the releases, like for my video, I did a little bit of a clickbait like cover because both of those authors pushed their books out for like a really long time. So I was like, were they worth the wait? I mean, they were good. I already shared that I liked Caution to the Wind. So, but whatever, I got to do what I got to do for the cover of the video anyway.
Yeah.
And yeah, but for Caution to the Wind, I don't feel like I needed to talk about anything that was spoilery. But with The Lovely Return, like my issue with the book like is spoilery, so I have a spoiler section for that one. But it was good. I mean, that romance is beautiful. She writes a beautiful romance. I don't have any complaints about how she wrote that. I have some issues with how much angst she puts into her stories and just like tries to squeeze the life out of you, which is a lot for me. But anyway, that's just me though. I'm a big baby. I don't want to go through that much, like, I don't know. There are a few books in life that do have that much and I've liked them, like Manacled is all angst. There's no happiness in that damn book until the end of it. But that's also like a fantasy end of the world type of kind of book, in my opinion. Manacled, it's that like do or die stuff. When it's just in a contemporary slow burn, I'm like, okay, I don't need to hurt this bad. And I think that's what's nice about these alien romances is like their miscommunication is that like dudes aren't allowed to say they love you first. That's the miscommunication,
right?
And thinking you offended her because like she wants some time by herself or something like that, and that's like, oh, he's so precious. He just wants to take care of all that, and like feeling like he offended her because she wants to clean up the dishes after they ate because he's like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm gonna put my dishes away. And he's like, no. You're like, wow, we can tell that women are writing this book. It's fine. It's great. Megan, you read the Ice Planet Barbarian ones. One good thing about being a librarian is you see so many new books. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that some of those are in the library. It makes me so damn happy. It makes me so happy. I love it. I mean, some of the like freakiest books I first discovered, I discovered them by tiptoeing over to the adult side of the library and walking through the adult romance shelves. Got into some trouble there. A little over 50% done with Second Dukes of Charm. Oh, good. I'm excited, Tara. I haven't read a Kay Bateman. I don't think I've read one this year. When did A Wicked Game come out? Maybe it came out at the beginning of the year. I don't know. I haven't read one of her books all year, so I really want to read it. Oh gosh, I meant to add How You Love Them. Oh, I mean, I figured you might like it since you said you read. I mean, I'm glad you didn't hate it. Those books are pretty crazy. I want to like get back to them. I'm honestly intimidated by how many there are of those. Like, it's like I fell off the wagon and now there's 50 books out.
Yeah.
Where I think I've read 6 of them. I mean, I like them. I think I read 6 of them and then I kind of like had stopped. Funny story. I read these years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. I read when there was only like 10 of them out back then, probably. And I read it and I gave it like 1 star. Because it was the first like alien romance I read, specifically an alien romance like that kind. And I was just like, what is this? Like, this is gross. Like, I remember thinking it was gross. Oh, it was so innocent back then. I just didn't like get the point, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't a judgmental reader. I probably did. I don't even know if I had a channel yet. Did I have a channel yet when I read that? I might not have. And I was just like, wow, okay, that wasn't for me. And then years later, I was like, oh, I should try these again. I bet I would like these now because I like stuff. So yeah, I love that.
That's funny.
That's why I love the Ice Planet Barbarians. Just enough angst and miscommunication, but so much sweetness along the way. Exactly. Nope, that's it. That's it. And that's what I want from the alien romance. Like, especially if it's a lighter one. I was like, you know, instantly lovable. None of this like mean stuff going on. But miscommunication because of your culture is totally fine. Because like, of course there's gonna be stuff. It was nice. The cover actually grabbed my attention. Yeah, need to get back into this. Anyway, Stacy, how's your book going? Megan, are you giving up yet? I'm sorry, I talked the entire time.
Stacy, you go first.
I'm having fun. Aragon and the Urgle chieftain are heading to the dwarves.
Yes.
And Saphira got drunk off meat again. She cracks me up.
She's so great.
I love Saphira so much.
Me too.
But
she's
fun.
the queen of dragons. I love her.
She is. I love that she calls him Little One.
I know. Stop it. Sometimes I cry, man. Have you had one of her POVs yet? I don't know if you have or not. Like, you might not have been. You probably
don't think so. We might have when they were doing the Razak stuff.
Okay. There's only like 3 or 4. So I was just trying to see if you had one, but there's a point at some point where they're not like by each other for a little bit and you get her POV because we need to know what's going on over there. And it's so good. Like her POV, I don't know how Christopher came up with that, but it's so smart. Like you'll see when you read it, like, oh, it's so cool when you read it from her point of view. And yeah, it's great. I'm so glad you read it.
So good too. I'm loving
the narrator. Yeah, he's so good. The amount of people, like when I went to the book signing, you know, the audiobooks came up and people were like, yes, the dragon's voices are so weird. And at this point, I'm like, I've been listening to those for like 10 years and I don't think they're weird anymore. But my friend Sarah, when she's like, wow, that sounds so strange. And I was like, I mean, I guess it does when you start it. But once you get used to it, it's like, well, yeah, dragons aren't going to sound like a girl because she's not a girl. She's a dragon that could eat you. They don't have like pitch to their voices. I don't know. I think it's so smart how that works. But Anyway, I'm glad you're loving it. I need to get back into Murtag, but I don't want to. Murtag is sad, okay? I'm not it's sad, all right? It's depressed. Thorn and Murtag are sad boys who are sad, okay? And so it's difficult. But I'll get there. Anyway, Megan, are you giving up yet?
I am not. I'm on page 96, and well, I knew it was a grumpy sunshine, but I mean, the male main character, he's just an ass.
Yeah.
And she is the epitome of sunshine. I mean, think she is made out of sunshine.
Yeah.
But she doesn't really take any stuff from him.
Okay.
So I'm gonna continue now for her.
Right.
So after page 60, it starts getting better.
Once you get into the premise of it.
Yeah. I mean, he was just
first meetings are just rough these days, man. Like, because that's literally the factor. Is like, usually they are okay after it, but I think I've gotten used to like, I mean, DNFing when I see that, or I have to just like skip past it because I'm like, you don't have to immediately comment on your physical reaction because I gotta be real. I've asked some of my guy friends, and they rarely just pop a boner when they're 36 because a woman's beautiful. It takes a little bit more than that for them to pop a boner. I mean, I hate to speak for all men because I have so much experience with that. But I asked some of my guy friends, I was like, have you just seen a woman at a party or like wherever you are and just like popped a boner because she was so beautiful? And they're like, no, not in like real life ever.
Yeah.
Maybe my guy friends are tame and aren't sex crazed romance novels, but I'm like, there's a way to show they're attracted to them without a dick twitch.
No, exactly. I mean, I'll be married 21 years this month, and I've talked to my husband, and he knows I read romance, obviously. And I mean, it's nowhere near. He's like, no. It's like, like, no, I don't think since a teenager. I'm like, exactly.
In a new adult romance, I might let him get away with it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, the hormones are going. Some of the boys are probably on steroids in the books that I'm reading. I'm like, you don't know what's going on, right?
But steroids, you would think, would make it
worse. I know. I realized that as I said it. Don't point that out.
No, it's okay. No.
Whatever. They're all the hormones and fluctuations. That makes sense. But in an adult romance where we're like in our 30s or whatever, I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
You can say that he noticed she was hot. Like, that's fine. But it's immediately like, I imagine myself coming on her tits. The first meeting. Yeah. And I'm like, this is the mind of the villain of the book, is what I feel like when I see that. I'm like, stop it. So
I've read some villains who were nicer than that,
Right. Yeah. Anyway, that was just a little ramble for me. I'm okay with it now and then. Like, again, like in novellas or when it's quick and it's like, okay, we're supposed to make the point of this. But these days I'm just like, I expect more. I'm like, you're making sorry again, right? Especially some of the big authors. I'm like, you are making a lot of money from your books now. Okay. I expect better from you. Right. I want the editors of these to point that stuff out to them too and start. So that's why I'm going to keep talking about it. Yeah. I'm not going to call out every single book that does it because there's a lot, but like, I'm going to talk about it because that's how they'll know to like weed some of that stuff out. Is they'll be like, oh, people are getting irritated with this. People are putting it in the reviews that they're annoyed with it. It's like, find other words to use.
Yeah.
You literally could say like, I felt like I had a physical reaction to her beauty. You don't have to say what it is. Like, we would get it.
Yes.
We would, or my heart started beating faster. That's so much more romantic than like your cock got it, It's like.
Yeah. I mean, 20 pages in, I'm thinking about DNFing when I don't normally DNF. Yeah. I mean, it has to be extreme. When I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah. But again, it's not just her. It's a whole, it's a whole thing. But anyway, we go through phases, and I feel like so many people need to be hooked in a book so quickly, and authors think that means there has to be a sexual hook really quickly. And maybe for some people it does. So obviously they're right. Their books are selling it, but I don't think those are books that are going to last. Like I look at the books, I look at the books on my favorites list this year, which I have right over here. I have them all in my book stacked. And I look at the ones that are on the top list, the top seller lists. And I'm like, I don't feel like those books have staying power. There's nothing that differentiates them from other things, right?
Yeah.
But I look at the stack of my faves and I was like, I'm never going to forget those. That's why they get a 6-star. So anyway, that's enough philosophy with Jen for now. Let's get into another one of these so I don't waste all of our reading time with this. But now I'm going into, what is this one? Saving Veraco. Is that how we say it? Verico? Yeah, Saving Verico is what I'm reading next.
Is that 3 or 4?
That's the third one. That's what I'm going into.
Cool.
And yeah, good luck on your reading, everybody. Hello.
Hello.
Mm-hmm. Well, fun. Okay. I started the third one. This one is good. I like it. I'm gonna keep listening to that, I think.
Good.
And still I'm almost done with this.
Oh, that's so cute.
Working on the last flower up there. Well, and then I have to outline it. That takes forever, but seriously, that takes longer than any of the other stuff. But it makes it look a lot prettier, so it's worth it. Okay, let me see here. So, hi Daniela. She just got home. Hello, my friend. Roxanne was talking about a Kylie Kent. Have either of you guys ever heard of her? She was asking if I had read any of her before. And she said she was on KU. So, Roxanne, I don't know if you're still watching. Maybe you're still here. I was asking more like, what does she write? Like, does she write mafia romance? Does she write historical romance? I'll definitely check her out. But I was more asking not where she has her books, but like, what does she write? Because that'll give me an idea of when I want to check her out. Because I've never heard of her. So tell me a little bit about her. Oh, yeah. It's a night for the internet to be causing problems, Shelby. So there you go. Hi, Jesslyn. You were here earlier, but you forgot to comment. You're reading Cry Baby by Mariana Vivancos. Ooh, I've never heard of her either. Interesting. Shelby, another row crocheted. Nice. Yeah, you said you're doing an Advent. So are you just doing one row a day? Is it going to be like big enough? Like, what are you making where you're doing one row a day? Let me know. Candace. Hey, it's good, Candace. I think you'll like it whenever you get around to them. They're on AnyPlay, and the first one's on Audible Plus. So you can try choosing Theo no matter whether you want to, whether you want to buy them or not. You can do that. But yeah, they're fun. I'm liking them. Like I said, they're really addictive. And hold on. I think it's Stephen Dexter is his name. Hold on. Yeah, Stephen Dexter is the narrator. He does the whole thing. It's just a single narrator. And yeah, he's really good. So it's all the good voices and everything. She writes mafia. All right, Helen. Thanks for coming in clutch with that. All right. Now I'm more interested. Have you read her, Helen? Do you have a favorite one? I would definitely trust your recommendation for mafia. So you should tell me if there's one you like. And you just got home too. Cool. 30% in. That's a long book. So hold on, Lizelle. You can do it. The project is almost done. It looks so cool. So Mel sent me a picture of what she's working on, and it's really pretty. Cool. I love it. It looks great. You saw someone posting about Kylie Kent. The book she posted about is Mafia. Yes, there we go. Hey man, I found Mila Vane from someone posting a picture. So that's how I find a good amount of them. It's funny because, okay, story time again. This is what we're here for. Stacy, you've been listening to me yak for how many years now at this point?
I know.
It's like I love when people give me recommendations. Of course I do. That's why I have a book rec forum. That's why I watch other people's videos. I love hearing what my friends' favorites are. But there's still something about when you're just scrolling and you see a cover or you see a blurb and you're just like, I want to read that. And like nobody had to convince you. Mm-hmm. Nobody's hounding you to read it. You just like pick it up and are like, this is fantastic,
Yeah.
And I just so rarely like get to do that as much anymore because even my mood reading kind of has to be like guided just for like just so that I get all my stuff done, But with stuff like that, I like being able to just like I saw that cover of Unholy Vows and I was like, I want to read that. And so I picked it up and I read it. And then it sent me down a side track where I read 6 books that I didn't have time to, or 4 books that I didn't have time to read. But you know what?
Yeah.
That's what we do. Oh, Amber's coming in here. She says, Relentless Devil, Mafia Romance, Sons of Valentino. All right. I will look that up. Hold on. Where's my... I usually have a notepad ready to go for these, but I'm going to write it down here. Relentless Devil. All right. I'm here for it. Helen said she read the first one and it was good. Enjoyed it, but it wasn't very memorable. Fair enough. It's okay sometimes. Oh yeah, okay, about your advent calendar here. You have a yarn advent calendar. Each day you open up a mini skein. Okay. So you can probably do what you want with them, but you're choosing to do a baby blanket with them. That is super cool. You're putting rows of contrast in between each of them. Okay. All right. Let's make it bigger. That sounds so cute. That sounds like a great project. I miss crocheting. You know me, rotating through my crafts. I'll get back to crocheting again sometime. I have all of my grandmother's stuff was left to me, all of her crochet stuff. So crocheting still is kind of like bittersweet right now. So we'll get back to it someday. I mean, sewing is too. Anything that I'm making makes me think of my grandma, but crocheting especially. You haven't read that one yet? Okay. That's the one you read. Okay. Cool. Well, I wrote it down. So Roxanne, if you are still listening, which I maybe not because she didn't answer, I will look that up and see. We'll see what I'm feeling like. But I got to tell you right now that it's pretty possible that a lot of fan fiction is going to get binged this month. I'm in the mood, man, and I don't have time for it, but we're going to do it. So
let's do it.
I know. December 2 years ago is when I started reading Manacled. So December makes me want to read it. I mean, it makes me want to read it all the time. And it also makes me want to read it because other people are discovering Manacled now or finally giving it a try. And so it makes me be like, yes, I need to read more of these because after people read Manacled, what do they want? They want more. And I'm here to do that because still hardly anyone else has videos about it anyway. You definitely can find recommendations all over Instagram now. And even like TikTok, I guess. TikTok is what convinced a lot of people to read it. That's not what convinced me to read it. Single-handedly Joe convinced me to read it. So she gets all the credit for anyone who read Manacled because I read it. Say thank you to Joe because
I'm going to read it later this month.
Yeah. Anyone who read it for my suggestion, you can thank Joe because she would message me crying about it and how fantastic it was. And I was like, okay, I'm going to read it. This sounds crazy. Okay. 3 days and how many thousands of pages later, I was like, okay, I understand now.
But it does have an HEA, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard like crying. It's like, well, whatever that other popular one is, it Secrets and Masks or something that doesn't have an HEA. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I'm not putting myself through that.
I don't read the ones that don't. It's still just like, it doesn't feel good. I'm still going to say that. Like, Draco and Hermione are together at the end of that fic. They're together. Yeah. It just doesn't feel good. There's no other way to say it. You'll understand when you read it.
That's fine. That's fine with me. I can
I'm sorry, the spoilers for all. Neither of them dies. They are together, but it still doesn't feel good.
That's all.
No, I won't promise you that anyone else is safe, though. I won't promise you that. But they make it. It's a romance. They make it. So we're good. Same thing. I had people commenting on my Iron Flame review because I said that. I was like, guys, nobody's going to die in this couple anyway. It's still a romance.
Right.
Rebecca Yarros is still writing romance. So whatever happens, I'm ready because they're not going to die, Yeah. That's why I only read fantasy. That's fantasy romance, though, because my soul's been broken before. So, Mel, I see you trying to be clever here, but I went and read the end of it. I read the last couple chapters of it. To me, that is too bittersweet to be a happily ever after for me. Some people will still love that type of story, man. I know McKay loved it. She's talking it up. I think she finished that one. Did she? I don't know. I watched a video where she was talking about it. And like I've read 50% of it because I thought it looked so cool. And I read half of it. And then I don't know, I was just looking up like reviews of it, which I'm so glad I did because I read quite a few reviews and I was like, oh, nope, I'm going to stop now. Because it was so long that I was just like, I can back out of this. I don't need that. Like, but it is tough with fanfics because like not all the time do people put it in the tag if it has an HEA, and they're not always going to be a romance. And some people who write fan fiction, they're not like romance reader in and of itself, so they don't know that you have to, like, for it to be a romance you need that HEA because it's fan fiction. Like maybe they want it to be depressing or whatever. So it's made me really scared in the last couple of years because like you have to be prepared to just get absolutely, like, I'm just gonna say you have to be prepared to get fucked up when you read fan fiction because, you know, we think that like some authors write harsh things, but like fans who want to twist it into they can hurt you even more. Okay. They can hurt you more, man. Like A World Not Fit to Live In. That one is darker than Manacle to me. Oh my God. A World Not Fit to Live In. Like Compelled. Those ones hurt, man. Those ones hurt. So that's why I mix them in with the really fluffy ones that I love, you know, like, oh, I get to reread In Silence and Submission, and I'm so excited. Like, I can't wait to reread that one. It makes me so happy. Okay, let me see what some people are saying because I'm just yakking it up here. Yes, hopefully there's more videos. Yes. Yeah, and I hope some other people reading it will make videos of it. But I also think that not everybody who reads Manacle does go on to read more of them. Like, because I think there's some of like the, you know, some of the other romance YouTubers are watching it and I haven't seen them like read other ones yet. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe they are. But I never do things by half. So of course I read one and then I've read 100. So it's great. And then I was like, wait, I don't just have to read Dramini. I can read like Lumini and I can read Snamini. Like, give it to me. Give me everything. So Shelby says, I have so many crafts. I'm off knitting right now. But I also weave and spin. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I love my little mini sewing machine. I want to try, like, either for my birthday or whatever, to have like my sister and my mom and my friends like all give me gift cards for Joann's because I do want to finally buy a sewing machine. The thing is, like, space wise and like the weight of the sewing machine wise, like I don't have the best like table in the world. And so my little sewing machine is so light, it's easy to like pack it away. And it also doesn't like weigh my poor table down. I have a really old table. So it's like if I get a new sewing machine that's heavy and big, there's all the things that have to go with it. Like I need a better table and I need to make space. So it's not just having that.
Yeah. The domino effect.
But I want like I want a better one to make it like smoother to do like thicker things. I can only sew through like so many layers. Like I can't finish my quilt here. I'll have to finish it at my friend's house. But it gets the stuff done for the Etsy shop, and that's what's most important. So, but I do eventually want to upgrade. I don't have a place to put it right now, even if I've got one. But yeah, Mel read that too. Good to know that is not my kind of HEA. It's been on my Kindle, but doesn't sound like that will work for me. I mean, if you're talking about manacled, like I still push manacled. I know I'm trying to be honest and say that it hurts because I'm not going to spoil what actually happens. But I felt happy for them when it was done. It's just, yeah, it's hard to say that, but it's not like it's so good. Okay. I know, Jennifer, I know I'm saying it's that, but it's worth it. That one is worth it to get through. There are some other ones that just get sick and detestable, in my opinion, because I'm like, are you trying to rip out my guts? Okay. But Manacled, like, I don't feel that she's over gratuitous with the pain she puts you through. Like, oh, see, well, you didn't say we were talking about Jennifer. I thought you were talking about Manacled. And I'm like, I was talking about Manacled. You're talking about Secrets Unmasked. Okay, good to know. We're on the same page then. Yeah, A World Not Fit to Live In. Yeah, that one was painful. My goal for 2024 is to finally read Manacled. Oh my gosh, you haven't read that yet, Amber? Well, break it into 3 parts. Look at it as a trilogy. Read them one at a time. Do that. That'll help. So excited for other pairings. Yes, you need cheerful fan fiction. I read Manacled. So good, but so dark. Yeah, girl. In Silence and Submission, Contradictions, The Potion Master's Baby, like, you got to read those ones. Something in the Way She Moves. Those ones are. I just read Cybersex. That one was basically a porn, but it was happy porn. I'm here for all kinds of it. Even All You Want. So that's another one by Sin-Lin Yu. I'm reading that right now, and I'm really enjoying that one. So yeah, I'm happy that I'm reading that one too. I put it off. I said this. I put it off because it's Omegaverse, but it's MF Omegaverse. Like, it's just Dramini. It like. The first Omegaverses I ever read were MM ones, and I don't like those because I don't like MPreg. I don't want to read it. You can't make me. I don't want to read it. And so I just have it in my head that that's what all like Omegaverse is, and it's not. Like, that's not the only kind. So I've tried other ones that I've liked them. So yeah, but that one, I just have it in my head that that's what they are. And that one Harry Potter fan fiction that was surprise MPreg that I will never get over. The Draco and Harry one I read, that was surprise MPreg. I was like, are you fucking kidding? I did not need Draco to be able to get pregnant. Okay, I didn't need that to happen. Because, yeah.
Yeah, what is Omegaverse? Is it where they can partially shift? They can't shift all the way?
I can't even, because they're not always shifters. This, like, Joe actually just asked me this because I was talking to her about All You Want, and I was like, in some worlds they're kind of like shifter, in some they're like kind of like a werewolf version, but in others, like in this one, they're just people, but biologically, like, they can be paired with someone that they have the best chance of like reproducing with, but they're not like shifters. They're not anymore, like, so there's just so many different levels of it. And yeah, there's so many different levels of what it is that it's hard to explain it. And some of the levels, I don't like it. Like, in some of them, the Omegas are like super submissive and are basically prisoners. And some of them, like, they're revered because of how like special they are. And in some of them, alphas will like kill to have that. Like, there's just, there's all different kinds, just like there's all different kinds of everything.
Yeah.
But for me, I guess because I haven't read a lot of them that I liked anyway. And so I haven't tried, is the thing. And people keep suggesting them to me. And that's the thing, like, in my book rec form, guys, I can't tell you how many Omegaverse. And I tell you, I'm just like, no, you can't make me read it. And then I feel bad because I'm like, I know they're just trying to help, but I'm like, no, Omegaverse is something I just have to tiptoe in by myself, not be pressured into it. But man, the people recommending Omegaverse and reverse harems. How many damn times do I have to say I don't like reverse harems before people stop trying to push them at me? Stop it. Anyway.
Okay. People use Omegaverse. You see it through. It's an Omegaverse novel. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? It's just such a term you see used. Oh, it's an Omegaverse. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just.
I don't know, everyone, but we all have our secret niche, like, here's one, like, my lovely friend Amanda is like, I can't get down with fanfic, but I'll read retellings and reimaginings. And I'm like, girl, that's what they are. But they actually have the same names as them. You just got to think of it that way. So, but yeah, we all just have what we want. I mean, a few of my friends like don't want to try fanfic because they just feel like it's just erotic versions of what they love, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I want it to be.
Some aren't at all.
But they aren't all. Like, there's plenty that are not. Yeah. It's just that's what I want. So yes, the ones I'm recommending are because that's what I want. If I'm gonna read a Snape and Hermione one, why am I gonna read a like clean one?
Yes, exactly.
Like, I don't know. Well, there was that one fic. I keep forgetting about this one to talk about it. It'll be in my next video I do. But I read that Sense and Sensibility fic that was Marianne and Colonel Brandon. And like, that was everything I wanted it to be. Because it was still this really slow burn, like awkward romance of like big age gap. Like all that stuff was there. But then once they got together, it was like, all the sexy time that I wanted. I'm like, yes, this is what I needed. It still had all the angst stuff that I needed, but then the love too.
Well, that's what I always want every time I turn on Sense and Sensibility, because I don't turn it on or read it for the older sister and what's his face.
Oh yeah.
I like Marianne and Brandon. That's who I like.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. We're all here for it. I love it. Omegaverse is so confusing, for sure. It is. Omega is something that comes from old school Super. Yes, yes. I mean, I know this. I've watched the really long videos that are like the history of it and stuff. So I've definitely seen those. It's just, how did it get where it got, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, but just like anything else, there's different kinds. And like, I'm going to recommend this fic that I'm reading. I really like it. It's just, it doesn't mean that I want to go read a whole bunch of them now. Like, and sometimes when I try something for the first time, I want to go read a bunch more of them. And then sometimes it's like, this was really good for this specific place. This is what I wanted to read. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That happens with some like kinky stuff too. You know, when I do my kinky videos or my oddly, like, some of those are just perfect. And then there's ones where it just gets thrown into a book to make it spicier. And then I'm like, well, now it doesn't feel great because you gave this couple a kink that I don't think you haven't written into their characters that they would like this.
Yeah.
You know, like when daddy kink comes out of nowhere. And then it's not even really daddy kink. You just want to call him daddy when you fight. I'm like, why then? Pick a different pet name. If it doesn't mean something to you, it's just weird. Don't just call him daddy. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my controversial opinions on it. So someone was talking about what?
It's the same with good girls. I'm like, why is he suddenly saying good girl in this one scene and that's it?
Biggest pet peeve currently. Oh my God. Okay. So over it. I don't know. I'm like, and it bums me out because I love Good Girl. I love it. But everyone decided to put it in their books now. So now I'm just like, you just called her Good Girl. Cool. Not every girl is going to get hot when you say that. And it's always just like, she was gushing because he said good girl. I'm like, no thanks. Someone said, I missed this. Well, someone spoke about pen pal first, and I can't find the comment because I lost it. But this was Kara was replying to her. Oh, here we go. Here were the plots at it. She said, I rarely do unconventional. Pen pal hurt too much. This is totally fair. This is absolutely fair. That book destroyed me. And I normally would rip a book like that from limb to limb. I have before. And I don't think that JT was super honest with her promotional campaign for that one. And I think it bit her. I mean, it didn't bite her in the ass that much. That one's getting picked up by Bramble and is going to get a special edition. So people loved it. But I didn't see people get as excited for that one as they did for some of her other ones. And that one was like a one-time only situation for me. Like, I knew that it was paranormal going in. I didn't know what was paranormal, but I knew something was paranormal. So I was expecting something. But plenty of people are just like, what the fuck? You just blindsided us with this. And like, romance readers only like so much of that. Like, I'm reading a romance novel. You can do a lot of crazy stuff, but like, this isn't The Sixth Sense. Like, don't do that to us.
Yeah.
But I mean, I liked it in that one because of what it was. And when I got to the end and read her author's note about like what inspired some of it, I was like, okay, I'm into it. So, okay, I already shared that one. Now I'll go back to where I was at. Okay, Kara then said this. I really liked Pen Pal even without a traditional HEA. It just went with this story. Yes, I prefer a happy ending, but this book seemed to work. Yeah, and that's like basically what I said is like I'm okay with it when like once in a while, but I still like to know. I don't know. Like I would have liked to know that it was an unconventional HEA before I got to it. And there was just some stuff that like some things needed to be a little more delicate in that one. Cause again, like she put like primal play and like all this crazy shit in there. And then when you get to the end of that book and like see what the twist is, it's like, why was this couple doing this in this when it's about like murder and stuff? I don't know. It was strange. Same thing about Grimstone, although that one was much worse. Some fan fiction is so good, it's way better than the original stuff. Yes, so true. The Disappearance of Draco Malfoy. Oh, I still need to read that one. All right, I'm going to wrap up with these. We're at 2.5 hours. I know we didn't do another sprint because we went down an Omegaverse wrap, but I'm going to get through these comments and then we'll wrap this up. I need to make some dinner. I do still think about some Inception fic. Oh, that's cool.
Cool.
I read Omegaverse because of a cover. There was an Asian heroine on the cover and there's sword crossing. It's called The Scent of Us. All right. Okay, Lizelle, let me see. I mean, I trust you to tell me how it goes. Ended up really liking Pen Pal so far from what I've read from her. That is the one I enjoyed the most. Oh, well, that's a controversial opinion, Mel. One thing I just need to have is an HEA or at least an illusion of one. Yes, that you can infer on. Fair enough. I got an arc for Pen Pal. There was no heads up. Yeah. No, and I remember the drama with that. Like I do. I know some people got the arcs of it. That was the first one. Again, that was the first book of hers that I didn't get an arc for. And I've never gotten an arc since, which has made me sad. Like, I'm not going to lie. But I'm also kind of glad now because I haven't liked any of her books as much as I was liking the Queens and Monsters. So it's fine because I would have had to like fudge what my review was anyway. I know I'm going to hurt my lovelies who love this so much, but Liars Like Us, I still am like, what the fuck was this book? And I'm never going to be over that. I just don't understand like the turn she was taking with that book. I don't know. But I mean, she just goes wild with her stuff. Like, and she totally can. It's working for her right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to tear me apart, you have to put me back together. Yes, that's exactly it. And that's what, I don't know, that's what like Manacle does for me because there's a lot of healing. They give you a lot of breathing time at the end of that book after you go through everything. So yeah, they need to they need to make it worth it. That's the thing that I always say, like books have to have balance. If you're going to go to the darkest depth of some things, there needs to be an equal amount of happiness at the other side of it. And a lot of authors, and this is fine, this is their writing style. This is the writing style of a lot of classic novels too, where you get through that. And then like, there isn't even an epilogue. It's just like, it ended happy, it's over. Like even when it's a happily ever after story, it's just like, it's over. And I'm like, that's all you're going to give me after this trauma that I just went through?
Yeah.
And there's still some authors who write like that too, like reading some older historicals. Like they didn't always have epilogues. Like books didn't, they just like were over because it's like, they're happy, it's done. You know, I like to have epilogues. I know some people don't care once the people are together. And I'm like, I'm literally here for that part.
Yeah.
Since The Scent of Us sounds intriguing. Yes, it does. What's the sense sensibility? That's a great question. Hold on, let me just pull it up because that one was great. I have another one of those saved too. I just didn't get around to it because I have too many damn things to read. We know how it goes. Dun, dun, dun. Where is it? Problem is I don't remember the name, so I just have to scroll through this. When did I read that one?
Trying to look at Goodreads.
Insanity's been word out. Oh, is it this one? I think I found it. Yes, I did. Okay. It's called At Last by DC Fitzpatrick. That's how I found this one because DC Fitzpatrick writes some Harry Potter fanfic. And sometimes if I really like an author, I go and look at like everything they've written. And when I went to their page on Archive of Our Own, it said they had a Sense and Sensibility fic. And I was like, oh, cool. They have a few of them. And this one was in there. So it's a really long one. It's 300,000 words, but it was so good. So yeah. And it's like he's a billionaire in this one. It's like set in modern times. And she is the sister of his like secretary. So in this one, the secretary is the older sister, and he meets her when they have a company picnic. Maybe it's not his secretary, it's his friend. I don't know. Within the business, she's a secretary there, and they have a family picnic, and so she brings her mom and sisters, and then he meets Marianne at the picnic. So it was really cute. So yeah, At Last is by DC Fitzpatrick, and it is all the ooey gooey goodness. It's so great. He's so swoony in it. It's fantastic. Kylie Kent's heroes are totally unhinged. All right, I'm here for it. All right, here we go. I think Liars Like Us was her trying to get back on the horse after bed. I know I still need to finish the second one because I know a lot of people love that one too. But I got like now I kind of am just waiting for the audiobook because I'm like, if I haven't read it yet, Teddy Hamilton's gonna be in this audio or no? Is it Teddy? No. Who's gonna be in it? It's not Teddy. Somebody will know. She announced it. But either way, it's Troy. It's her whole cast. Plus, she added one of my other favorite male narrators is going to be in that one. So I'm like, I'll just wait for the audiobook because the audiobook will probably help me like the book even more. And I'll give it its best chance if I wait for that. Hold on. Let me see this post. Fall Into You will have Jacob Morgan. Okay. Jacob Morgan, Connor Craze, Troy Durant, Vanessa Moyen, and Angelina Rocha. So there's a huge cast for that one. So that's supposed to be coming soon. So at this point, I'm probably just waiting for that because a lot of the craziness in that book, I can bypass it when it's in audio form because it doesn't seem as cheesy when a good actor, like a good voice person does it. So. But anyway, all right. Well, thank you everybody who stuck around for this one. I mean, I finished a book at least, so there's that. At least we got stuff.
Good.
And Megan decided to stick with her book.
Page 120, I started feeling bad for the male May character, so I'm going to see this through. So I'm very glad.
And Stacy's working her way through the dragons, so
I am.
We're all good. We're all good here, but I love Liars Like Us, but DNF Fall Into You. Oh, well, good to know. That's not helpful, but anyway. All right. Good night, everyone. We'll end this up.